Right, ladies and gentlemen. I wasn't trying to do something fun there. I just did that in that order. Don't worry about it. Sorry for the delay. Quickly went to run for to the bathroom before we started. That's it. Yeah. Hope everyone's doing well. I think we're just gonna play some Assassin's Creed. We'll see how much we end up playing here today. Deers is out. He messaged me on Discord. Well, message in the group Discord, the Eagle Discord, and let us know that he's not joining us for the next bit of time. It's all good. It's all good. It sounds like he's gonna have a blast though in the meantime, so can't blame him. Trying to think if there was anything I should mention. I guess last stream, Monday stream. Uh, during the whole thing, there was the Apple events, and after the stream or towards the end of the stream, Ubisoft held their event. And I guess we can talk about what was announced. There were no Apple devices announced at this WWDC, whatever it's called. But most of what was talked about, well, all that was talked about then was just updates. It seems like they're more or less, at least from my point of view, eliminating any need whatsoever for jailbreaking an iPhone. That's just personally speaking. I see less and less of a reason every time they show off stuff. God damn it! I wish Streamlabs was shut up at this point. I installed the Streamlabs plugin for OBS because it allowed me to use labels, and it's had. I mean, I don't really use the labels, but what I do use is the stream chat that comes with it because it's tied to my actual Twitch account. Without me having to do anything really, beyond what I've already done. So I really, really like that. But I'm also kind of like, I wish it would stop moving around every time I open OBS. But yeah. So some of this we've already talked about, so I'm just end up repeating it. But they're gonna allow us to send messages later, so schedule text messages essentially. They're integrating OpenAI's ChatGPT into your phone. Hopefully they're gonna do it in a nice way where they're it sounds like the way they're presenting it, which isn't necessarily the way it's going to happen, is that they're only going to talk with OpenAI's ChatGPT when you ask them to or when you allow the system to do so. If that is true, great. If not, come on, get your shit in order. They showed off some cool math notes thing they talked about, which they're bringing together along with a with a calculator for the iPad family. So, but now you can use the calculate app, or you can calculate things in nodes and then notes, and then have it actually be calculated in there. It's pretty cool, actually. They're gonna use AI to allow you to create custom emojis, which is fairly fun, I guess. Let's see. I'm trying to find what else. I mean, the big thing that I barely feel like I have to mention is the fact you're not going to be able to choose the colors of the majority of your app icons. So they're going to have a light mode and dark mode, but then on top of that, you can also choose the base color it goes with. So not the background, but the actual icon in there. Well, some of them, it sounds like they're just going to do a color overlay, just slap a color across the entire app icon and call it a day, which is rarely great. And then there's some, it looks like they're not even going to support it, or at least don't support it as of right now. They're also introducing a password app. People are saying it's the killer of OnePass and LastPass. I actually like the fact that someone pointed out the fact that their LastPass is sort of killing himself with all the leaks, which is fair. Plus, I never really used the built-in password password system anyway. I use a separate service. I don't necessarily know if it's necessarily better or worse, but it's the one I use, and it sort of is what it is. But yeah, I guess if you're a user who is who is already using the password in the settings, it's just gonna have a separate app now that's gonna allow you to go about a little differently. It's also the Apple Intelligence, which is what they're calling their AI, which is their basically Siri. They're also going to be able to generate images based on contact photos. So you can create a photo and like a new photo based on someone's contact photo. They're also going to be adding more option in terms of when you're messaging people, you can do reactions like the haha and the exclamation point, but you can also now add emojis. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that it's also going to include the custom ones you can make, but yeah. They're also changing the control center, so you have a bit more control. There's more control cylinders available in your control center. So that's actually pretty fun. They're also doing categorization, like big categorization buttons at the top of your mail app. Although I don't really use it, so this doesn't really matter for me. I despise the Apple Mail app because I cannot figure out where the fuck the delete button is. Sometimes I just want to send an email to the basket in 2 seconds, and for whatever the fuck reason, I can't do that with Mail, and I just cannot handle that. They're actually adding RCS support with now that Apple is forcing, or the EU is forcing it, so that's great. I have people in my life that use Android. It's nice to be able to actually utilize the modern standard of messaging, which is more or less on par with Messenger and WhatsApp, things like that, but in your text message app. So yeah. They're going to allow some more custom lock screen customizations. One thing they mentioned was specifically around the icons on the bottom, which I thought was fairly cool. Just gonna check. I thought I had updated everything just here on Twitch in terms of what my status was, what my category was under currently, but looks like I have. It's all good. They're also adding a game mode, and they're gonna allow you to lock and hide apps. I think the most favorite thing I've seen is that unfaithful people can now truly go on Tinder in peace without worrying about their partner seeing Tinder on their phone. They're also adding the ability to add text effects manually. So before, certain words would just kind of have an effect. Now it's just like, hey, you can just do it on your own. It's whatever. It's fine. Which is pretty fun. Pretty fun. I might have to occasionally. I have a friend who's out of the country, but we both have on iPhones, so this should be fairly fun. They're also adding the ability with the app customization. The app icon customization is making the app icons bigger, and it's actually gonna remove the text that's underneath your app icon. I don't think I'll be using it personally, but I like the idea. People have been wondering, is it going to finally allow us to use that last bit of space in the bottom? No, doesn't look like it. Trying to see if there's anything else. I know I don't really talk about tech stuff a lot, but you know, this shit is really cool in my eyes. I'm so down. I also love the fact that they're actually bringing a lot of these customization features, or just generally in features they're having on one device, they're bringing it over the minute they're doing these new updates day one on the other ones. I remember when we got lock screen customization for iPhone, we had to wait a bit for it to get on iPad as well. I'm kind of happy to see that they're actually doing them all together again, which is really, really nice. Let's see. There's also going to be some ability for it to read text and better correct it. Also come with recommendation in terms of the actual text in there. People are saying this is going to take over Grammarly, basically, but Grammarly has had a lot of years in this field. I doubt Apple can catch up in a second, you know, so yeah. You're also, in case you have a MacBook, you can actually like mirror your iPhone to your MacBook. I think you can actually also use it from the MacBook, which is pretty fun. They're also doing some changes with the Apple Vision Pro with their 2.0 update, which sounds pretty fun. Like they're gonna do the computing power in the MacBook with so you can have the MacBook screen inside Vision Pro and make it a bigger workspace for you, essentially. or make it a bigger screen for you. They're extending that in a way where the MacBook is doing the actual powering, the work of that, so that the headset doesn't have to, which is pretty good. And it's probably gonna make it allow Apple to make it a little bit cheaper. But yeah, yeah, pretty cool. It sounds like actually it's actually pretty cool. I love the fact that there are actually more and more games are being brought over to Mac now, that Apple has seemingly like said, yes, we want games and we'll make a tool for game developers to make it easy to port your games over here. It's actually pretty fun. I'm excited for it. I don't have a personal MacBook, but I have no doubt in my mind at this point that when my current laptop eventually dies and I need a new one, I'll buy a MacBook as my personal laptop. Be able to game on it would be pretty cool. Um, Trying to see what else there was sort of popping up. I heard earlier, and I haven't really looked too deep into it, so it might be incorrect. So don't take my word for any of this, honestly. But I've heard that there are some pretty cool accessibility options coming along with the latest updates as well, including one that I will personally really love, which is the fact that they're going to add a thing for us people who get motion sickness when driving a car or being in a car that's moving or anything like that. It's really, really, really nice. They're going to add like a thing where it's going to add a visual aid on the screen to sort of help your brain understand where you're moving, because it's like a disconnect between what's happening outside the car and what you're actually seeing in your phone that can cause your system, at least something like that. And they're essentially, they found a way to potentially at least limit how much is happening, which is really nice. Trying to see if there's anything else. I also love that Android people will continue to be like, well, we've had these features for years. So what? What does that mean? Does it mean that Apple users can't enjoy these features, or are you better than Apple? I don't really care, honestly. Truthfully, I do not care. I I don't care. I've had an Android for quite a while. I still have a Android here. Like it's the phone I had prior to this iPhone right here. And I've had a Samsung for years prior to me even getting the first iPhone I ever had, which was an iPhone 11, I want to say. Like growing up, like, okay, so the first phone I obviously had was a Nokia. It had to be. There's no way around it. It had to be a Nokia phone. But then when I first got my first Android phone, it was a Samsung, but it was a really small, shit, cheap one. Um, but at that time, that was the first smartphone I'd ever had with touchscreen and anything like that. So I was blown away. I will say, this is despite the fact that I had classmates who had an iPhone 4 this time, which looking back, yes, I would have loved to have, but financially, I understand it. It's quite a lot. But then I kind of stuck around with Samsung for a very, very long time. After the shit little phone, I got like a tough one. It was like a collaboration with, what is it, Cat? One of the construction company, I think they're called. Well, no, they make construction machinery. Um, CAT, I think they're called. Maybe it's, yeah, I think it's CAT. Don't remember. It doesn't matter. Samsung made like a collaboration with them, and it was a really like, you did not need a cover for that thing. That thing could handle its own, no problem. It even had like, I remember like a locking mechanism, like almost like a screw on the back before you can open it on and off, so that if you drop the phone, the back cover wouldn't just fly out of there, which is really nice. After that, I had a Samsung Galaxy S2, which was a hand down. It was from my mother, who had had it prior to when I got it, and because she was upgrading to a different phone, so I got her old phone. Uh, the S4 I got from my grandpa, and then I believe I got the S6 at one point for my birthday. Um, I think I might have bought the S8 or something like that. I don't remember. It was a while back. I don't truly remember what it was with that one. And then I had the opportunity to go for the S10, but part of me, so for years, up until this point, up until the time that I had to replace my Galaxy S8, which was after 2 years when it started slowing down and I would get annoyed. Up until that point, I had had such a hate for Apple. Just, I didn't see any sense of it. It was stupid. It just didn't make sense to me. It was just, I hated Apple with such a passion. And at one point, I honestly just stopped caring. I didn't care anymore. I didn't want to waste my time even thinking about Apple like that. It was such a waste. So it's like, you know what? Fuck it. Next generation, my next phone is going to be an iPhone. So I got what I think was an iPhone 11. And it was pretty dope. My only issue was, so for years now, I had Touch ID with my Samsung phone, and I loved it. I think some of the later ones also had some form of Face ID, but obviously, at least from my understanding, it's nowhere near the level of Apple's, because that's their main kind of security lock thing. But the issue was, I bought this iPhone right before COVID really hit. And I was suddenly in a situation where we were forced to wear masks. And I was just sitting in a situation where, like, I just bought this phone where the primary way of unlocking your device, doing just about anything, was through the Face ID. And we were just asked to do, we were just asked to put masks on. This was before Apple introduced the whole, like, oh, you can lock your phone with your watch, which I've since then I kind of honestly hate. I wish I could figure out how to turn it off, because more often than not, I don't need it to unlock. I can use my face, it's fine. Back then it would have been nice, but I didn't have an Apple Watch back then. So for the first time ever, after a year, I gave up my iPhone and I went back to this Samsung phone here. This is the S22, I think. I don't remember. S21, S22, something like that. I don't remember. And I was actually really happy for a long time. And then after 2 years, like any one of my other phones, it started slowing down. And it was like, all right, gotcha. And I was like, you know what? I kind of like that iPhone. And, COVID's over. The mask situation is, well, COVID's not really over, but it's less so. And there's no mandatory mask requirement at this point. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back to iPhone. And I've stuck with that iPhone ever since. And I can honestly say, I'll probably switch out the iPhone this year, maybe early next year. We'll see. But I'll probably get the newest iPhone. But I don't think so. I've been buying over time. The Pro Max. I kind of want to go for simply the Pro. Here's the thing though. I thought about even going lower and just getting a standard cheapest iPhone, potentially even an SE. Truth be told, I'm not a big photographer, but I kind of like the raw photo feature where I can get more quality, or at least I perceive there to be more quality when I take it as a raw photo. I like that. I really, really like that. So I think honestly, just for the camera features, I'm kind of down with buying a Pro still. I just do not think I have a need for a Pro Max. This thing is, I mean, I like having a big phone. Don't get me wrong. I kind of just, I don't know. I feel like I could kind of go for a smaller one. I think what I'm going to do when it comes down to it, when I got to figure out, which phone I'm gonna which phone I'm gonna buy, or yeah, when it comes down to it, I'm gonna go out to the store and try the non-max and see what that's like. I mean, I play a couple games on my phone occasionally, where it's kind of nice having a bigger screen, but like 90% of the time, I feel like I'm scrolling Twitter, maybe Instagram or TikTok, something like that, or I'm messaging someone. Like, I don't need a big screen, and there are just some times when it feels like it's too big. So I think I might just go out in the store and try it out for a bit, and when time get there, and then I'll figure it out. Should be fun though. I'm excited to I'm excited to see what they got in store this time around. I mean, there's another thing. If you get the Pro, you get you get the faster file transfer via USB 3. That's another thing. I'm still in Lightning. I feel it, man. I feel it. I just get me over to that over to that USB-C, man. Get me over there. Gee, please, please. Also, this phone isn't like amazing. I've had this phone for 2 years. I promise you, if I was to go ahead, peel off the screen protector, the cover, and then like I have a, what do you call it, microfiber cloth. If I go ahead and run that, the screen, the camera, even maybe like use some sorry, like I wipe down some stuff, it's gonna look almost brand new. I feel like there's basically nothing at all wrong with this thing. I feel like I'm gonna get a really good price. I had I will say, so I'm all in for protecting your phone. Um, I've been very against over the years getting screen protectors because I feel like I always fuck it up. This time I actually don't remember what they're called at this point. I should probably look them up again. Spigen, Spigen, something like that. Spigen. Um, it was a colleague, a prior colleague, who suggested it to me. They have like a whole system where you slap a piece of plastic across your phone, and then they have a whole thing like you pull here, and then it's on there, no problem. And I learned the technique with bubbles, which essentially use the bubbles against each other. So if you have a bubble, push the bubble against the other bubbles and catch as many bubbles as you can, and then push it out. Essentially, that's the gist. What the fuck? Oh, I was looking at the Amazon page. Hold on, Amazon.de, and it was like, hey, we have stuff for we have stuff for fucking Tesla. I was like, what? What are you selling for a Tesla? Apparently they're selling like things to have inside your cars to hold your phone and things like that. I was like, that's fair enough. So I have a 14 Pro Max, I think. Yeah, something like that. That fits. This is the 15 year one, 15 one. Yeah. I will say also, so I've had, my watch is in less great of a shape. Come on, just, yeah. I mean, there's no scratches on the screen as far as I'm aware. There is a scratch on the crown, I think they're calling it. Other than that, it's in good shape. And I'm probably gonna, I don't know. I have a weird, so this is an SE watch, and I bought this simply because I wanted to try an Apple Watch. Because I like having the ability to have my notifications on a watch compared to on my phone. Because otherwise, every time there's a vibration, like, what's this? All right, that's nothing. What's this? Nothing. All right. Instead of being like, all right, that's useless. All right, yeah, it's useless. Like, yeah, it's just a much better thing, and I think definitely. I don't think I'm gonna go in all in for like an Apple Watch Ultra. That seems fucking insane. But I think probably at one point I'll be down with buying a non-SE one, just standard one. Only thing is this watch, and I cannot fucking tell if it's an update that screwed the battery up or what the fuck it was, but the battery is shit right now. Normally, it could easily hold a day, actually maybe even more than that, where like I'd get home and it would be at like 50, 60%, maybe even more depending on how much I used it. Like it could take the day on with a breeze because I barely use it. I just like flick it. Do I have notifications? I don't. All right, we're good. And like, yeah, it tracks as I move around, but still, like, worst case scenario, it would usually be like 60, 50%. 50% worst case. Uh, Lately, the watch is just doing just such shit time. It's insane. But what I'm kind of hoping for, what I kind of, what the fuck am I talking about? I was talking about protection. So I bought the screen protector, Spigeon. Was pretty much dirt cheap. Haven't had an issue. There is a single scratch in it at this point, but it's small and it's just on the screen protector, which is really, really, really nice. That's really, really nice to have it on there. What this cover has though, and it's something I wish I'd see in more covers. So the cover is thin as fucking hell. I love that. I've had some seriously thick ones by like UAG or what are the Life Proof? Life Proofs I usually used to love because their covers are insane. They can basically handle everything. This can't obviously handle everything, but with the bumpers, they can handle quite a lot. It also neatly hides the Apple logo, although the camera still sticks out, but that's another thing. I kind of like not necessarily having the Apple logo visible. Just, I don't know. It's not my thing. But the cover is really, really nice and thin. And this is the big thing that I really love and I wish more covers had. The side isn't like rubber or anything like it's like a grip. It's like a serious grip that really allows me to hold on tight to this thing. It's awesome. I wish more there were more covers out there that I knew of that had this thing because it's been a wonderful, wonderful thing to have with this one. I truly, truly love it, and it costs basically nothing that cover, and I love it. But I feel like so many of them, so many covers out there are just so shit. A lot of them ones what I've seen that doesn't have a grip. Like I feel like my oily thing, like if I ever like I'm sweaty, if I'm something like maybe not even that, it feels like all the oil of my fingers just rubs up on that cover and it becomes basically impossible to hold. And it really sucks because Spigeon as well have a really cool cover where it has like it's an X-ray thing, like D brand have I think as well. Although I think I saw with Spigeon first, doesn't matter. And I think it's really, really cool, but it doesn't have the grips on the side, and it has the kind of shit rubber without a grip that I feel like it's gonna leave my oil all over it. Like the clear shit plastic one. I really, really hate that. I like the visual of it, but nah, nah. Big thing though that I so the big three there is for me is thinness, grip, MagSafe. MagSafe is something that I've truly come to love, and I think it's one of the reasons I might never actually go back to Android. There's multiple reasons. MagSafe is definitely one of them. I love MagSafe. It's a brilliant feature, and I think you can get like similar one, and like it's not like Android doesn't have wireless charging, but they don't, as far as I'm aware, typically have magnetic wireless charging, which I absolutely love because wireless charging, you have to be like, oh, are you in the spot? Are you in the spot? All right. I mean, you can get some wireless charges where you can just stand the phone down and a little charge, it's fine. But there are also ones where you're just like, are you in the right place right now? Are you in the right place? All right. Compared to having it with MagSafe, where it's like, just like it like sticks to it almost. It's like, well, it magnetizes to where it needs to go, which I really like. So yeah, I think what I really want to do is I want to get a smaller one, get a nice cover like this one. It honestly might end up just being that cover for the new one. I don't know. I think they've already made the exact same cover for this phone. They also have like a classic, they have a old Mac cover for it. I really love that. It basically, why the fuck do they not have any? They have less covers for the 15 Pro or for the 15 series iPhone than they have for the 14 series. What the fuck, Spigeon? How does that make sense? It doesn't. Let me clue you in. It does not make sense. I'm trying to look at what else they have. I was really serious about my phone protection for quite a while, and it definitely got to a point where it's like, I need a camera protection. It's like, the camera protection shit gear, even the one from Spigeon, it sucks ass. Don't get it. Supposedly it also isn't really great for the camera, which is another thing, but yeah. One thing that I am absolutely dreading about getting a newer iPhone is the fact that this is the last iPhone with the switch mute. I get why they're moving away from it. Like, the less clicky buttons you have, the better. But still, I like the clicky buttons. So going away from it, it sucks. But yeah, hopefully we can get to a point where we'll find a middle point. I like those clicky buttons, but I get why they have to go away. Anyway, this is a nice one. I found one. It doesn't have the grip, but it's like semi-transparent in a nice way. All right. Anyway, yeah. No, I kind of was just ranting about this for a while. I'm excited to see what they have coming up. I am most likely gonna buy an iPhone again. There's another aspect to this I feel like I have to mention. Part of the reason I went away from Android was also simply the simplicity and loveliness of the design. So I feel like I guess I can kind of show this. So let me just open Google Play Store here. I'm gonna find, yeah, sure. This looks boring as fuck. This, in my mind, is boring as fuck. Let me find the exact same app in iOS. Of course, this isn't 100% the same, but you might get my gist here. I'm gonna search for Max over here. All right, you tell me which one looks better. It's this one. This one looks better. I like this one better. All right. Overall, I find pretty much everything is simpler and nicer looking on iPhone. And with Google's latest kind of update, when they were like, hey, you can now choose the colors of what you want and things like that. Like, that's great, but it looks boring as shit. There's nothing. I will say, there's one thing I truly hate. They changed the look of the update buttons for updates. Yeah, it looks like shit, in my opinion. It's just a big shit button that I feel like I could have made, like on a website somewhere. It's just, I mean, I expect better for Apple, and that wasn't it. That was really, really, really not it. So yeah, no, that definitely annoyed me. Um, but yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm also like I've slowly just come a part of the Apple ecosystem, and I know the stuff in the Apple ecosystem isn't necessarily the best, but the simplicity of it, it's nice. It's nice. I'm here for it. I'm here for all of it. Like I have a dude who I work with who has uh, he's he's definitely an audio kind of guy. Cool dude. Occasionally we'll talk about headphones and things like that. And one thing I always go back to is like I'm well aware that the AirPods Pro that I have are not the best headphones, but I like him so much. I like him so much. There's simplicity of connection and just it's awesome. I don't think I could ever buy AirPods Max though. That seems insane to me. But AirPods Pro are so nice and they're so simple. Like I have typically over the years not been a big fan of in-ear headphones because I feel like I have earwax in my ear 24/7. Even like I clean my ear every morning. Every morning I wake up and I feel like I still have earwax in it constantly. It's frustrating to say the least. So I don't really like in-ears because I feel like I'm reminded of that every time. But I feel like at this point I don't really think about it too much. And there's just something about having small in-ear headphones that's just nice. I mean, I still overall like a lot of the times I'll prefer some big headphones like these that go over the ear, over your headphones. But most of the time, when I'm just sitting on a bus, on a train, potentially even on a plane, there's just something about having my headphones in my pocket that I truly, truly enjoy. That combined with the noise cancellation that's available in these, I really like the balance one they have. I can't remember what it's called right now, but they have an option where it listens to the audio around you through other microphones. Um, and then it allows you to, or allows it to cancel noises it feels or it deems are too loud. Um, and for the most part, I kind of like being able to hear stuff going on around me and having having the active noise reduction on means I block all that out, which can be nice sometimes too, especially if I'm in a meeting or something like that, where I kind of just want to focus on the meeting. And then there is transparency mode, where just you hear everything, which can be nice sometimes as well. But I feel like for the most part, I like this sort of middle ground they have created for the AirPods Pro, where it's just listening and blocking out some of the harshest audio. So I still hear a lot what's going on around me, but I also get to hear some. I also have some annoying sounds blocked. So that's honestly really, really, really nice. And they hold a really long time. I feel like for the most part, I can go through a day no problem without being an issue. I had one day. It was the only day I've ever really been stressed about my AirPods. It was a day where I fucked up and left my case behind at home. I live 30 away from the office, but it's still like it's a lot of effort just to get a AirPod case. So I sort of held out the entire day and just kept them with me, which means from when I left in the morning to when from when I left in the morning, they lasted. I feel like it was up until after lunch, Yeah, there's a couple things I found you can kind of do. So the big thing is that they have a sensor on them to figure out whether you have them in ear or not. And the unfortunate thing, they also count them as if you essentially have it in the pocket. If it sends that something is blocking it, it detects it as you have it AirPods in the ear. Um, but uh, but essentially the trick would be to make sure that it doesn't think that your AirPods in the ear, pausing the audio from it, essentially. But yeah, it was a rough day. I got through it, but it was a rough day. And I don't have a spare pair of headphones, obviously, in the office, but I like having the AirPods. It's really, really nice. I've had Apple TV for years now. It's really, really nice. It's my go-to. It doesn't really matter whether I have any Apple devices or not. Beyond the Apple TV, I think I'll always go for the Apple TV. I just I like it best. I've tried. I tried. What's it? Google TV. I can't remember. There's a dongle. Uh, Google has their own one. They have a new one with actual built-in software, which I've thought about occasionally, but I feel like overall, I kind of just like Apple's. And I have a shit ton of movies at this point through through Apple. So if I want to watch them, I need an Apple TV. I'm kind of locked in at this point, but I've given in, so it's all good. The big thing that I have as well um, is so the thing I've had for the longest time, I think, is an iPad. My parents were the first one to who got me an iPad. It was the second iPad I think made, maybe a little later. I don't remember. It was a fairly early iPad. It had the big, long, long connector to it. It was pretty fun. It wasn't the first Apple device I've ever had. That was an iPod Touch. Actually, no, wait. iPod Nano was the first one I ever had. The little one with the scroll thing back and forth. Oh my god, that shit slapped. Um, and then I had an iPod Touch as like the second upgrade, and then after that, yeah, it was the iPad. That was really really dope. It was amazing, and I loved it so much because the thing was, I had the iPod Touch for long enough that it was stopped being supported by Apple, which was just insane. I never witnessed that with any other device than that iPod Touch. It was something else. I think. Wait, no, I maybe later on experienced this well with my first iPad, but I think it had slowly started dying at that point anyway, so it was fine. I had moved on to a secondary iPad that I got quite a few years later. Also, just the cheapest one. I think though it was the cheapest and newest one, so it's from the cheap category of iPads, the cheapest ones, which are honestly a great introduction to iPads, and it was the newest one of that kind. So it was really 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 nice one. I've since then I've always heard over the years that Android tablets are complete garbage. But I never really witnessed it. So when my second iPad died, after having it for quite a few years, I decided, you know what, I want to try an Android tablet as my next thing because I really like having a tablet. It's really nice as like a small device to bring with me that has a bigger screen. And I get it. I bought a Samsung tablet. I think it was one of the best ones I had at that time. It was dope. It was really awesome if I was watching movies or TV shows. Anything else, it sucked. Like, it had an amazing screen for watching content. Anything else, it sucked. The speakers, I will say they were amazing always. It was quad speakers. I don't remember what the audio system they had for it, but it was awesome. Which essentially meant when I actually used it for the one thing it was really really good for, aka movies and TV shows, it was fantastic. I loved constantly. There was just no time that I didn't love that Android tablet when I was watching content. Doing anything else, like I said, fucking even playing games sucked on that thing. So when I was finished paying off that Android tablet, fuck it, no, I'm not doing this anymore. So I ended up buying. Actually, I think it was a bit later on. I don't remember. Later on, I bought an iPad Pro, 11 inch. It was the newest at the time. I think it might have been the second iPad Pro they ever made. No, it was an M1. So I think it was the first. No, so wait, it wasn't the first iPad Pro. It was the first M chip iPad Pro they ever made, and it was the 11 inch. If I'm being honest, as much as I still love it, because I have it right here in front of me, as much as I still love that tablet, the battery is utter fucking garbage. It is undoubtedly the worst battery I've ever experienced in a tablet. Even the Android tablet had better battery than this. It's insane. It holds out on an average use. And remember, I don't use it most days a week, and yet I think it'll last me like 2 days. Originally, at my old iPad, I could look away from it for what felt like a week, and it'll be like, oh no, I have like 50% left. I mean, you haven't used me, and I had to use a little background battery here, but I'm fine. I'm fine. The Android tablet was a bit worse, but it also had a really good screen. And you're probably thinking, why don't you just turn down the light? I do these things. I'm not insane. I know how to take care of the battery, but it's just the battery in it is shit. And I think it's just a balance thing where I think it's chip is really, really, really fucking powerful, and it has a hard time like powering that chip for a really, 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 really long time. So the battery dies a lot faster. Like in comparison, the first iPad, or the last cheap iPad I had, I think it might have been like a 9th generation one. I don't remember. I don't know what they're on at this point. It's the one just called iPad. I think, okay, they're on the 10th generation now. The battery in these are surprisingly good. Simply but it requires that you don't have any accessories like I did back then involved. I think another thing is that I have an Apple Pencil now, which I primarily bought because on a rare occasion I do like to draw, and I convinced myself that I would draw more if I had the the Apple Pencil, which I do not. Which I don't. I didn't draw more. I don't have a keyboard for it or anything like that, but the Apple Pencil is pretty much constantly connected. So, yeah. But I definitely think the pencil and the chip combined are really power hungry. I'm trying to see what's the official battery time of each one of these devices. Are they willing to tell me? I'm kind of curious. iPad Pro, 1st generation. No, 2nd generation. 3rd generation? Yay! 3rd generation it is. M1 chip. Does it actually tell me the battery of it? Or are you going to keep... Yeah, it does. It does. Alright, compare that to iPad 9 generation. And just for fun, let's compare it to a modern iPad Pro. They've increased the screen glass, and you can have more storage in there than you did before. Ultra Retina XDR screen. So they brought that down to 11 inch. When I bought the 11 inch, it was just the liquid retina screen, and the XDR you had to go for the 12-inch one or whatever it was. Promotion, both of them, color is the same, true tone is the same. Anti-reflex thing. There's The M4 chip is in there. It has higher cores, or at least it can have up to higher cores, it sounds like. And it does have a higher GPU core. And the neural core is the same. The camera is the same. There isn't a ultra wide camera, but that's fine. I don't care. It's a parts ProRes. Who the fuck beyond boomers uses the cameras on an iPad? It's insane. I do like the latest ones have the. That's one thing I really liked about the Samsung tablet. The camera isn't on the on the top vertically, but horizontally. I really, really, really like that. Because, like, typically speaking, that's how I have my iPad. I have it laid down on its side. Just like the current one, it has USB-C. It uses Face ID compared to Touch ID. Oh shit! Right, the last iPad I had did have Touch ID. It has 4 speakers, just like here one. It has an upgraded. It has the ability to perceive higher internet connection. I have Wi-Fi 6E 2nd gen compared to Wi-Fi 6. That my old iPad supported the 1st generation Apple Pencil. I didn't know that. Up to 256 gigs. I think this one had 256 gigs. It's so good. Yeah, screen is quite a bit better. ProMotion. That's one of the reasons I may want to upgrade my iPad is simply because this one didn't have have HDR and like 1000 nits stuff. Which means there are definitely scenarios when I cannot see what's happening on the screen, which can be annoying when you're trying to watch content. That's one thing that was really great about the Android. It had that color. 11th gen, third one, 11-inch, 3rd generation iPad Pro, which is one I currently have, up to 10 hours browsing the web. You know, that's fair. That's fair. Up to 9 hours browsing the wire through mobile data. Why the fuck is that separated? It did not. It did not have USB-C. That's insane. Up to all this says 10 and 9. That's insane. They're telling me the cheap iPad Pro the same. Yeah, there's no fucking way that the 11-inch 3rd generation iPad Pro and the iPad 9th gen and the 11-inch iPad Pro M4 all run 10 hours on Wi-Fi. There's no fucking way. Even if you strip all the accessories, like the Apple Pencil, things like that, no fucking way they can all run that. Nah. The iPad 9th gen had a way, way shittier chip. And I understand these newer chips are way more efficient. I understand that. But, with that said, no. There's no fucking way. I can understand the M1 and M4 potentially having about the same because they're both powerful chips and efficient maybe actually should have allowed for more battery. But the iPad, nah. The fact it has the same is really weird to me. That does not make sense at all. That's weird. That's weird. At this point, we're not even playing Assassin's Creed. We're just chatting about iPads. I have an Mac Pro for work. MacBook Pro. It's awesome. I am always... Well, a lot of times I try to think, how can I integrate my Mac into my overall setup in a way where I can actually use it as my work computer, because currently it's only a work computer at the office. At home here, I use my desktop because I like it a lot. But I do want to try and find a way to integrate it. I worked with iMacs before. They're pretty fun. I think, personally, I actually don't know. if I can, it's so fucking expensive though, which is why I'm kind of mentally against it. I think I would go for a MacBook, a potentially Air. I'm not sure though. Even that's expensive. I feel like I at this point I want, even in a personal laptop, even as a Mac, I want more than 16 at this point. I may not game on it, but yeah. I think actually it would be pretty fun to have a MacBook Pro. I would think like a 14-inch one. I'm curious, how much would that cost? It's 15,000 just out of the box. That's insane. All right. I'm gonna put together a computer here, and I'll watch my eyes. No fucking shot. No, I know the iPad Pro doesn't. Oh my, the iMac Pro. What if I go with a Pro chip? Can I start with a higher RAM? They support 32 or 24. That actually, fuck, is that enough? I'm thinking, I don't know. I feel like it would be fairly cool if. Can I change the chip on this one? No, it's stuck at the cheap one, the base M3. How can it be a Pro and not be a Pro chip? It's kind of confusing to me. Sorry about that. I kind of want to be able to game on this. 18 gigs minimum. That's kind of interesting. I don't think I've ever heard of an 18 gig RAM laptop. That's kind of insane. Yeah, I think I'd want a. This is the 14-inch. All right. Max price. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Max price. Best chip in there. Best RAM. Best storage. Best power supply. 63,000. That's insane. Danish crowns. That's a lot. Alright, let me see. I'll probably be cool with 1 terabyte. Maybe in 510. That's down to 43,000. You know what? I'm cool. I'll take 48 gigabytes of RAM. That's 35,000. Here's the thing. I do not have any clue whatsoever. This is highly hypothetical, of course, in this scenario. Let's say I was to game on a MacBook, which seems insane to me, even with their whole stuff they're doing currently. If I was, let's say I want to play Cyberpunk. In that scenario, I want to get some decent settings going. What would be the requirements of this laptop? Games playable on Mac 2024. The best Mac games of 2024. Baldur's Gate, Resident Evil 4, Disco Elysium, Final Fantasy, Hades, Sims 4, Lies of P, Death Stranding, and Stardew Valley. Death Stranding, Resident Evil, Total War, Baldur's Gate, Elder Scrolls Online, Resident Evil. I'm trying to find a demanding game to sort of really pick the spot for me. Really pick a good spot. And none of them are really hitting that hard. What the fuck? I'm getting an overview of the games that are currently playable on Mac, and it's not good. Let me tell you, it's not good. Popular games. Platforms. Mac. All right. Popular games on Mac. It gave me back the other view. That's fucking shit. Civilization 7 is on here already, and you don't know shit about it. How can it be playable on Mac already? I think Death Stranding might be the most demanding game. I don't know. Tech Radar. Oh, maybe actually it's Resident Evil 4. Shit, I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Resident Evil 4 specs. Mac. Remake port is amazing. Doesn't give me any clue. I'm playing on a M3 Max. Jesus Christ. 120 FPS. Yeah, the port is great. Obviously, the machine is crazy expensive. Most people would be playing on an M3 or M3 Pro, but even then, performance is good enough to allow all AAA games to run on new Macs. Trying to figure out, hypothetically, if I had a MacBook Pro with, let's say, an M4, because that's the latest, what kind of performance are you looking for me to have? Price free. Oh, that doesn't make sense. That does not make sense at all. Base game. Oh, they're actually telling you exactly what everything is. Okay. There's a base game that's $30. Separate Ways, $10. Extra DLC pack, $15. Weapon upgrade ticket times 5. $7.50. Upgrade tickets times 3, $5.29. Weapons upgrade ticket times 1, $2.29. Tachi Case Gold, 0.99 cents. Tachi Case Classic, 99 cents. Charm Handgun Ammo, 99 cents. Charm Green Herb, 99 cents. All right. I mean, I can technically play this on my iPad, couldn't I? It says M1. This iPad in front of me is Mac 1. Resident 4. Yo! It's actually fucking playable on my iPad. I didn't know. That's insane. Honestly, that's truly insane. It is a bare minimum requirement that it has an M1 chip or later. M1 chip is barely gonna get it through the fucking door. I gotta hate on this. Why the fuck are they putting games up as free on the Mac App Store, and then they're like, well, actually, it's not free. The app itself is free, but you have to pay $30 for the game. Just ask me to pay $30 up front. It's not that difficult. I'm cool with them being like, hey, if you want the DLC, you can pay extra. Or do a fucking bundle. It shouldn't be this hard. Resident Evil Village from Mac is $16. And you can then purchase the DLCs on the side. That's the way you do it. That's the way you do it. Not this free bullshit. We're like, no, it's free. It's free. The app is free. Yeah, the app might be free, but the game isn't. There's an Evil Biohazard. It's free as well. God fucking damn it. And they're not even displaying the price in here. Oh, it's because it's pre-order. It hasn't arrived yet. Offers in-app purchases. Yeah, no shit. There's no way it's free. Oh, come on. You had it right with Resident Evil Village. Just charge me up front for the game. Make it very fucking clear. And then be like, hey, you want the DLC? You pay extra. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. In my mind, that's absolutely fair because that's the way it fucking works on PC. I buy the game full price for said game, and then they're like, hey, guess what? We also have these DLC out at this point. Maybe you're interested in that. Guess what? I'm playing this game. I might be interested in this DLC. You know what? I may want to buy this. Great. Perfect. I want to buy it. All right. That it was pretty cool that it's available on my iPad with a M1 chip. I'm actually curious because it's not the only game that's come out not too recently. I'm curious about some of the others because also I think some of the Assassin's Creed games are also available on here, as well as there was another game, Death Stranding. Yeah, Death Stranding was also available. I'm curious here. Death Stranding Director's Cut. That is also available on my iPad. I had not expected all this to be here, and they're actually charging me upfront 350 crowns for the game, which I have a weird thing. If I see a game on Steam being 350 crowns, that's like, all right, it's a full on game. I may not be happy about it, but I might actually buy that. But hey, Mirage is actually also playable, but there's fucking in-app purchase. But I can actually buy it early before I go into the game for 200 crowns. It's pretty good. Full game upgrade. Come on. No, but what's I trying to say? I don't remember. Trying to see what else they have here. Just give me Ubisoft limited time off, 50% off. Oh, so that's why the game is a bit cheaper. It's also cheaper on. You may also like these other full titles. Still, that's really cool that you can do that. Yeah, they're also doing Assassin's Creed Shadows. That's available to pre-order, just not in iOS, it seems like. Please don't tell me they're doing a free as well here. Looks like it. I don't like that. We have not even played a single bit of Assassin's Creed today. We have talked loads upon loads upon loads. Sorry, I mean. Trying to see if there's anything else. I feel like I've ranted quite a bit. I'm gonna turn on my fan here. It's getting a bit warm in my room. I mean, the desktop computer is the computer here is on, so it's fair. Let's see. I don't see anything in particular that's really like standing out to me. Oh. Let's see here. That is weird to look at. I came across on Reddit today a picture, what I'm gonna assume, whether or not it's actually real, but I'm gonna assume was a real picture of a brain. It's weird. It's very weird to look at. I mean, it didn't freak me out. It took me a little bit to figure out what the fuck I was looking at, and then I was like, wait, I'm sitting in an office. Maybe I shouldn't be looking at this? And then I open it back up to be like, you know what? I want to look at this again. And then I got kind of used to it. It's all good. Just kind of looking around to see if there's any last things. I don't think so. I think we should probably just go in and play a bit of Assassin's Creed. Just you know what? Just a little bit, just a little bit. I just feel that like we're an hour in. Sure, we depending on how you look. Actually, we're an hour and 50 minutes in. That's 45 minutes to go. Part of me is kind of like, you know what, let's just talk for a bit more. I know Assassin's Creed is in the title, but you know what? So I've kind of weirdly jumped on board with the idea of having certain games physically. I feel like if there's a game you really, really, really like, it's worth putting on your shelf. Here's the thing. I play on PC. It's far from every game at this point that's actually, you know, physically available on PC. It's usually just console that gets a physical edition. It's not unheard of. PC have a physical edition as well, but for the most part, it's console, it's PlayStation, it's Switch, it's Xbox. But yeah, but I definitely have a couple games that I think I may, if I ever come across it, especially if it's like on sale or something, I may want to just, you know, snag it. The thing is, I like to play my games digitally, and I feel like at this point there's almost no difference other than having something physically at hand on top of playing it digitally. Because at this point, when you buy a game, even physically, you let's say you buy it physically, you plug it into put it into the console, it boots up. The game disc will have some files on it, yes, but the majority of what it's gonna get is also just gonna have to download. So it's kind of like, all right. Yeah, like, yeah, they're not gonna have the actual download, the update on the fucking disc. And then every time you want to play it, you want to play with the, you have to use the disc. And I'm kind of like, what? It's just, I don't know. I get the wish to have physical media preserved, and I'm absolutely with it to the extent that it's nice to be like, hey, I really like this game. I have it on my shelf, and I actually have quite a few games. I think yeah, the latest game that I have is Jedi Survivor. It wasn't one that I purchased; is one that I was given on Christmas. And the thing is, I haven't bought it digitally yet for PS5, but I have it physically for PS5. But I like that. I like that. I want to buy it digitally though. But I think there definitely are games out there. Just to name a few. Skyrim. I gotta see if I can. Oh shit! No, I have a special edition of Skyrim on the wall. Although I think I may want to try and get like an old PC version, just a Windows one, because that's the one I used to have growing up. Ghost of Tsushima. I really love that world, and I definitely think I'd want a disc of that. Starfield as well. I weirdly enough, Starfield works for me in quite a few ways. It's not perfect. It doesn't pull me back in anywhere nearly the same way that that Skyrim does, for example. But it still pulls me in quite a bit more than, let's say, Fallout does. So there's that. I think I already have Injustice physically because I bought it first, I think, for Xbox. Not sure though. If I don't have it, I definitely want Injustice 1 and 2 on disc because both of those games are awesome. Forza Horizon series is definitely a game series I so want on like physically. I'm kind of mad at myself. I had the opportunity at one point to buy Forza Horizon 3, a steelbook one. This was second time we got Comic-Con here in Copenhagen. I remember one of the booths had Forza Horizon 3 as like a steelbook, and I I hate myself so much for not buying it. It's really it's the worst. Destiny, I kind of like. I don't know. Currently, I'm just reading off my list of games I have here on Steam. But yeah, Cyberpunk, I so like. I have to get it at one point. There's no shot I should that I don't want to have it. There's definitely a couple Far Cry games I know I don't have on the shelf that I think I'd kind of want to have on the shelf. I actually think I have GTA 4. I think I have a PS3 copy even. So I think I'm kind of golden there. Let's see. I guess maybe Saints Row. I don't know. Subnautica definitely doesn't have a physical edition. Hitman series, maybe. I don't know actually. I bought a physical Xbox collector's edition of the first one of the remakes. So this is before we got the briefcase and everything like that. So, but it was. But I don't know actually if I got a physical edition of the game with it. I don't think. I think I might have just gotten a digital code to plug into my Xbox, which was fine for me at the time. Just Cause, definitely a series I'd want physically. I don't know about the first one. The second and the third one are really big in my heart, so I definitely think those two ones I want to get. Death Stranding. Here's the thing. I have a weird relation with Death Stranding. I think I mentioned this a couple times on stream. Essentially, I love the world of Death Stranding. I don't think I can really get myself to truly play Death Stranding. I love the world that Hideo Kojima made in Death Stranding. In fact, I'm really psyched for Death Stranding 2, but I don't know if I'm going to play it. I'm going to 100% watch someone else play it, and I think because of that, I may not be interested in actually owning a physical edition of said game. There definitely is some older games I would love to have, especially Game Boy games. I think though, if I want a Game Boy game, I'm gonna want the box that comes with it, even though it's shit quality. But I definitely want it. There's a couple ones I think I may be cool with versions of a couple Pokemon games. I'd be cool with not having the box for, because they made I think for all the Game Boy Advance games, they made some like color transparent ones that are the biggest ones that I always remember and have the biggest space in my heart. I mean, if I end up buying one and it has the box, I might just not put that one in the box, which is fine. But yeah, those like color transparent ones are really cool in my mind. They had a green one for Emerald. They had another green one for Leaf Green. They had a red one for Fire Red. They had a uh, blue one for Sapphire, and they had a red one for Ruby as well. I remember the Ruby, Emerald, and Sapphire the most, but I also kind of think I think I remember the Leaf Green and Fire Red. Leaf Green and Fire Red were remakes of the original Red and Blue. Don't know why they were like, you know what? We made a red, blue, and yellow. When do we do the remake? First of all, let's forget yellow, and let's forget blue. Replace blue with green. That's kind of insane. The yellow one was a tie-in with the TV series where you basically played Ash instead of getting the traditional starter Pokemons, Squirtle, Charmander, or Bulbasaur. You would get Pikachu, essentially. So the blue and red, that's where you got those classic ones, and then yellow, you got Pikachu instead, which is pretty fun. Age of Mythology, bro. I gotta get that one, a physical PC one. Oof, so badly, yes. Um, I think I think I definitely want a Xbox 360 version of the older Assassin's Creed games. Yeah, I used to have a PC discs for Assassin's Creed 1, 2, Brotherhood, and Revelation. I gave it to my dad after I bought them digitally, and I kind of regret that, honestly. I think I definitely want to buy a lot of the Assassin's Creed games physically as well, though. I'm down for that. I think I'm definitely down with getting the Spider-Man games as well. I got Miles Morales digitally first, I think, and then I bought it on PC as well, but I bought it digitally first on PlayStation 5 when I got it. It was really really fun. I loved it. I bought Marvel's Spider-Man for PS4 first. I don't know. I think I might. Yeah, I still have the game cover, but I don't have the disc anymore. I lost the disc unfortunately, which sucks. But I have digitally, so it doesn't matter too much. Let's see here. Just looking over Force Awakens. I mostly, weirdly enough, I love the Force Awakens games. I've only really played the first one. I played it on Nintendo DS, and it was a fucking banger. Lego games. Ooh, maybe. I'm actually not sure. Battlefront 2. You know what? If I'm getting a Lego game on disc, it's gotta be Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga, 100%, 100%. Potentially Skywalker Saga. That was dope. Bully Scholarship Edition. I think I actually have that for the 360 on my shelf. Yeah. Um. Yeah, there's definitely some Far Cry games. Far Cry 3, really awesome. Far Cry 4, really fun as well. Far Cry 5. Weirdly enough, it's well. I like Far Cry 3 a lot as well, but Far Cry 5 is really high up there for me as well. God of War, I think I have that game digitally or physically already. I have GTA 5 for 360. Weirdly enough, I got it later on after like it went on PC, which is a whole thing, yeah. I don't have a ton of Mortal Kombat games, but they don't really mean much to me compared to, especially not compared to Injustice. Red Dead Redemption 2 I already have. Watch Dogs. I have the second Watch Dogs for Xbox. I have the gold edition specifically because I got it with the collector's edition. Same with Far Cry 5. Actually, I got a steelbook for Far Cry 5. It's pretty cool. But yeah, the original Skyrim. I gotta check if I have a copy of that for Xbox or something. That would be pretty cool. Although part of me maybe kind of wants it actually for PlayStation 3. I'm not sure. Here's the thing. First time I ever witnessed Skyrim, I think it was a good bit after release. I'm not sure actually. I was at a classmate's house, a friend's house, and we were hanging out, and he played Skyrim. He also played Just Cause 2, which is how I was introduced to both of those games. I cannot for the life of me remember if he had an Xbox or if he had a PlayStation, though. So that I'm not entirely sure of. Something tells me he had a PlayStation, but don't know though. Don't know. I gotta, by the way, when I move out, I gotta get a bigger shelf. My shelf is fucking tiny and it cannot hold all the media that I have over here. Top row, I have steelbooks of several variants, both movies and games. Primarily movies. There's a couple games. I have Wolfenstein 2. First time I ever tried a Wolfenstein game was Wolfenstein 2, I'm pretty sure it was. Might have been, I don't know. It was a Wolfenstein one. Which Wolfenstein? Yeah, Wolfenstein 2 New Colossus. That was the first time I ever tried a Wolfenstein game, ever. I bought it for PlayStation, and it was a pure coincidence. It was because I saw a collector's edition at GameStop back when we had those here in Denmark. That's actually how I found, I tried Yakuza, as well for the first time. Weirdly enough, it wasn't. I never played the PlayStation copy I have for that game. I bought Yakuza 0 later on after buying the collector's edition for the Yakuza game. I think it was like Yakuza 6 or something. I have a collector's edition. Yeah, I got this glass from it as well. It's pretty fun. There was a time where I just bought collector's edition left and right, not even caring about what game it was for. If the collector's edition looked cool, I was in. I've changed my mind a lot around that over the years to this point, to the point where I so incredibly rarely buy collector's edition. I bought Far Cry Blood Dragon collector's edition from Limited Run Games. The first time I ever bought anything from Limited Run Games ever. And I'm so excited for it. I bought the PC one, I think it is, purely because it had a bunch of extra really fun, cool stuff with it compared to the console ones. It's so much fun. Let's see here. What else is there? Shadow of Mordor. I like the world they built up for that. I don't know. No, I don't think so. Harry Potter. Hell yeah. Deathloop. Shit, I forgot I have that. Fallout New Vegas. Shit. Yeah, that was the first Fallout game I ever tried. I never tried Fallout 3 before that. Actually, have I even played Fallout 3 at this point? I don't remember. I must have loaded that one time. Rage 2, fuck. I played you one time on release and I never touched that shit again. Doom, shit. Yeah, I bought 2016 Doom, I think. I don't remember the release date of something like that. Really, really fun for a minute. It leans too far into zombie territory for my liking though, so I'm kind of out. Cyberpunk, fuck yes. Witcher, not sure. I should love Witcher, I just weirdly don't. Spore, I have to get a PC version of Spore again, just physically. Fuck yes. Need for Speed Heat as well. Gotta get a console version. That game, visually, fucking awesome. Jedi Fallen Order, gotta get a physical edition of that as well. Love that game. Need for Speed Most Wanted, yes! I need a 360 copy or something like that of that game. That would be awesome. Let's see here. This is a bunch of Gary's Mod SDKs, I think they're called. Horror games. You know, I'm not a big fan of those. Fuck that. Interactive. We already talked about this one. Lego games. I guess. The thing is, I think I still have Lego Indiana Jones. Maybe some other Lego games for DS. Physically here. I don't have. I think I may have played Lego Star Wars back in the day on Wii, and that was the first time I ever played a console version of it. It was years ago. I barely remember, honestly. I think so, yeah. I think I played it on Wii. Something like that. I remember that was the first time I ever tried the Lego World kind of level they had in there. It was really fun where you can find Luke's like Land Cruiser. Really fun. There's definitely some games in here. Yeah. Let's see. Is there anything else? I mean, I love the WWE games, but they don't mean that much to me. Let's see here. It's got a bigger row of games here. I love this stuff. Still have Rocket League on Steam. You can't buy it anymore, I think. So it's just kind of fun. You can't buy DLCs for it, especially because they moved everything over to Epic Games. If you don't buy anything, you gotta go there. Let's see. Nothing under there. Payday 2, shit. I might have to buy a physical edition of that. See here. That's so. I think though one of the reasons I'm kind of on board for buying physical games is also the same reason I'm starting to look at GOG more at this point. It's both about the idea of kind of like preserving games. Although I think buying a physical for me is definitely more about having the game on the shelf to look at and show off. Compared to buying games on GOG, that's 100% about preserving because they don't have any weird stuff that could, to my understanding, like if you buy a game on GOG, that's yours forever. Like they would literally have to shut down the servers, and even then, I think you could, in theory, because there's no what is it called, anti-piracy software or whatever it is on there. So I think technically you can keep a local version yourself somewhere safe in the event that you want to do that, essentially. There's no, like, it doesn't check ever on, like, a weird server. Like, it's yours forever for you to do with whatever you want. I have GOG installed on this computer. I rarely touch it. Right? I have GOG? Yeah, GOG Galaxy. I think I own a couple games on GOG at this point. I'm not sure. I see I'm on the mailing list for GOG, so occasionally I'll get reminded like, hey, we got this new game on here. We think you might be interested. They have Skyrim on here? Oh my god. Cyberpunk, definitely. I have Cyberpunk, actually. Let's see here. GOG.com. I own Cyberpunk. I own Arena. That's kind of interesting. Okay, let's, you know what, fuck it, let's try that. Can you, GOG, can you please install Elder Scrolls Arena on my NVMe drive? Just kind of for fun. GOG library. I'm curious what it's gonna do. GOG. It's wanting to do like games like that. Ah, that doesn't really make sense. This isn't yeah. GOG games. There you go. I'm curious. I'm choosing Arena because it should take 2 seconds to download in my mind, and that means it shouldn't really interfere with the stream, and I can sort of test the theory. If I'm right, and my understanding of GOG is correct, yeah, it just installed. Manage installation, show folder. Yes, it installed how I would want it. Holy shit. All right. All right, I have a theory now. I'm gonna... How big is the folder here? I'm curious. It's 100 megabytes. Holy shit. All right, if I'm correct, and my understanding of GOG is absolutely correct, I should be able to copy this to my front page, ask GOG to uninstall all right. Yes, it should still be on my desktop. I still have Arena on there with all the files. If I'm understanding this correctly, please tell me I'm right, because that would be so cool. Quick reference card. There should be a... I can see an icon for the game. I can't see... Okay, I launched something. Didn't look right. Ultra Mid. What the fuck is that program? If I could figure out how to do this, I might be able to test it, but I don't know. Trying to figure out where the fuck I just found that file. There's a lot of shit in here I don't know what to do with. God damn, there's a lot of files in here. Can you show it based on the file type? I need exe files. Cell data file. How the fuck are you going right past that? program. Here you go. The fuck are these files? Arena.bat. Holy shit. I mean, it looks like I have all the right files still. I just don't know what to do with any of them. For your further introduction, for new use type intro. DOSBot will stop exit without a warning if an error occurred. Creates a shell for you. It looks like a plain old DOS. I don't know what any of this means at all. I'm very confused about all this. Why do I have so many icon files? Manual. This is a goddamn player guide. That's insane. I mean, I'm semi right. What's this one? Nothing. Install, nothing. Ultramid, nothing. All install. At this point, you might as well. I don't know what any of this does. This is just a bunch of fucking gibberish to my eyes. Oh my god. What have I gotten myself into here? I should probably just delete the game again. No, but so this is kind of what I'm expecting to be like. No, fuck it. I'm gonna Arena is way too old for my ass. That's the issue here. There's no way I can install Cyberpunk. Oh boy. No. But if I'm right, I should be able to theoretically forever hold on to a game if it's purchased through GOG, because I can essentially take it out of GOG and have it anywhere. And I can store it wherever the hell I want to, because there's no security on it. That's pretty cool, actually. I might want to test this myself to see if I can actually get it to work the way I maybe expect it to. Would be pretty cool. I mean, here's the thing, though. At the end of the day, I'm in a weird spot. I prefer Steam, but Steam has the security stuff on it that sort of breaks games a lot these days. DRM stuff is what I'm thinking of. DRM tends to break games. And that sucks. That really, really fucking sucks. None of us likes that. None of us likes our games being broken. But Steam's a lot easier to work with. Is there even, like, achievements on GOG? Compatibility with most mods via next GOG notice about DRM free version. Compatibility with most mods via Nexus Mod Vortex. Compatibility with Scrum sticks under game version rollback and disabling automatically available. Oh, that is kind of nice, actually. I don't know. I might be able to do that. I might be able to do that, yeah. There are achievements. Single player, overlay, controller support. Part of me honestly wants to want to buy Skyrim again just to buy it again. God, I hate that. There's just a part of me that wants to own Skyrim everywhere. Uff, da Wunschliste. What the fuck? I'm not German, guys. The hell? I mean, if you want to give me some German discounts, I'm not going to complain too much, but I'm not German. I can buy Oblivion for 38 crowns? God damn. Oh. I am so down. It doesn't really talk about very solid open world RPG. Fuck. Fuck. I'm kind of curious, though. Let's say... Actually, hold on. This quick thing I wanted to mention. It's come to my attention that there's a Metal Gear Metallica event pass for Fortnite Festival. So you can now look like Metallica, or the members of Metallica, and rock Metallica gear. You know what the fun thing is? They're playing in my fucking office tomorrow. It's not a joke. My office. Fuck, I think I just said where my office is. Doesn't really matter at this point. I've said it out loud. I don't have a button to pull that back. They're playing in the building where I work. It's insane. All right, you know what? Fuck it. I want to try something here. I'm gonna go on a local electronics store's website. Show me what kind of games you have available for Papa. Papa's in the house. It's a fun little reference for some of you guys. Spider-Man 2. Fuck yes. Hogwarts Legacy. You're on thin ice. Here's the thing. They're so fucking expensive. I don't know if I want to spend this money on a fucking physical edition. Especially when it's just going to stand on the shelf. That's kind of where I'm fighting myself on this. Yes. Do I want to keep a cool game on my shelf? Yes, I do. I really do. Do I want to pay the price of doing that? Not really. A director's cut of Death Stranding is 150 crowns. That's pretty good. Anyway, we have spent this entire stream talking. 2 hours of talking. I'm not going to talk for the rest of the week now. That's actually pretty incredible. I'm amazed that I managed to talk for this long. Anyway, well, that was fun. While there was no Assassin's Creed, sorry about that. I don't know if anyone was really even watching. I get to rant for myself. You know how it is. It's cool. It's cool like that. Anyway, I want to thank everyone so much for watching. I will be back on Monday next week for some more games. And I'll see you guys then. Bye.